I picked the Washington Commanders as my surprise playoff team in the NFL. I didn't know if they'd win a game, but they did. I love Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Jayden Daniels. I thought it worked, and I thought their division had a couple of teams in the Giants and Dallas with weak rosters. I said Friday, I don't think they're as good as Tampa. I don't think they'll win, but if they do, it's because of singularly Jayden Daniels, and that's exactly what happened.
All right. Colin deserves to do a bit of a victory lap here because he did predict that Jayden Daniels would be good and that the Washington Commanders would make the playoffs, but he was hard on them in the end of the season. He absolutely was. He was doubting that they would be able to come away with some of these wins, doubting that they would win. You know, he was like, on the road, rookie quarterback, and I was like, no. You know, Jayden Daniels is for real. He's going to be able to do this, and I even had a conversation back and forth in the comment section, and I was just saying, before this game played, I was just like, as long as Jayden Daniels doesn't get bit by like a playoff rookie bug, like they're going to win this game. Jayden Daniels is special. And he was, man. I mean, he was responsible for like 80% of the offensive production. Everything that he did was just undeniably elite, truly, truly special. And this is what's crazy. This is why, and I talked about this yesterday on First Things First, like, this is why you can't just go by stats, by box score, because 24 for 35, 268 yards, 7.7 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns and a 110 rating, and 13 carries for 36 yards. Because I watched the game, and because I just watched the game, a couple days ago, and I lived it and I felt it, I know how amazing, how legendary, how historic, how awesome the come from behind, how the fourth down conversions and third down conversions, but the throw to Eckler, to McLaurin, to Ertz, I mean, just the intensity of the moment, the energy of the moment, the pressure on the road. I mean, it was big time. I mean, just insanity, just legendary, high level football. In a few years, you're going to forget it. You can't remember how these games unfolded. I don't remember even how the legendary 13-second game unfolded. I remembered that game. When I was watching that game in real time, I was thinking to myself, this is the greatest game I ever saw. I don't remember how it unfolded. I don't remember how they scored the second touchdown, the third touchdown. I don't remember. I got no idea. I don't remember that unbelievable play that Josh Allen made or Patrick Mahomes made. I don't remember it. I just know how it ended. That's it. I don't remember anything else. I don't remember what Patrick Mahomes exactly did to win the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Just these things become box scores. And that's why I took such issue with Nick Wright talking about Baker Mayfield being this like all-time great playoff performer quarterback. He's like, he's averaging over 300 yards per game and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, look at these games. He played the Eagles that were falling apart. He played the Pittsburgh Steelers who were falling apart. And again, you compare it to like Dak Prescott, who feasted on the Bucs in an easy just onslaught win where they were able to just keep piling on points. It's like, that's not that impressive. That's not impressive at all. And then even Dak's, box score stats against the Packers. They got owned by the Packers, but I think he still threw for like 4 touchdowns, 400 yards. Like, when you just look at the box score, and especially when you look at the box score over a series of playoff games and just look at the bottom line of it all, you're like, oh, he's actually pretty good. He's got like a 67% completion percentage and, 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio and, averaging 299 yards in the playoffs. You can't ask that much more, that's what it comes down to. But that's why you got to remember the moment. You got to remember what was asked of Jayden Daniels. And it was wild. It was historic. It was legendary. Heck, I mean, even Baker Mayfield technically had a higher completion percentage and a higher passer rating. But we know Jayden Daniels outplayed Baker. We know that Jayden Daniels played better football. We know that. Like, this is a perfect game that proves how misleading stats can be. Because, again, if you just look at these stats, it's not, like, mind-blowing. I know it's mind-blowing because I saw the game. But if you just 5 years from now and you say, oh, what did Jayden Daniels do against the Commanders? They won 23-20. He had 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he only rushed for 36. Yeah, I mean, a pretty good game. Definitely not a bad game by no means. 110 rating. But, But you got to really remember 8 for 15 on third down, 3 for 5 on fourth down with multiple touchdowns. You know, an insane pass to Eckler, 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. Like, just box office. Getting hit, a low hit on his knees, throwing a 3rd and long touchdown pass to De'Ami Brown on the road. And it's frustrating that you can't remember all this stuff. Like, you can remember it now, and you feel like, I'm never going to forget this moment. And it's just like, I don't remember anything. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Patriots Super Bowl, I remember thinking that this is the greatest ball game I ever saw at that time. I'm like, this is the greatest Super Bowl I've ever watched. Don't remember. I mean, I remember like, yeah, the one catch in the end zone. I remember Zach Ertz having an awesome catch. But and of course, you know, the fake. But I'm just like, you know, like what else happened in between? Because I remember, you know, Nick Foles had to go for it on some fourth downs and some key moments. But I'm like, I don't really remember exactly how it unfolded. You know, you don't really remember. So, just an awesome game, an awesome moment for the Washington Commanders, for Jayden Daniels. I mean, they're on to Detroit now. Going to be special. I think they have a true chance, and we'll talk about this more for sure all week. I think the Commanders have a true chance to beat the Lions, but make no mistake about it. It is not going to be easy. It is going to be hard, and the Commanders absolutely have to play perfect football. The Lions, I do not think they have to play perfect football because they just have the firepower. They have the depth. They have the ability. The Commanders will have to continue to play perfect football, and to play perfect football game to game to game, it's hard. People make mistakes. Jayden Daniels is going to make a mistake. I obviously have praised him. I'm calling him a legend, elite, special, all that type of stuff. He's going to mess up. He's going to mess up. He's going to take a really bad sack. He's going to throw an interception. He's going to miss a read. Like, it's going to happen. It happens to every single person that's ever done anything in their life, let alone football in the playoffs. It's just, you just can't play perfect ball nonstop. So will that perfect ball end eventually against the Lions? No idea. Or will it be the next round? Again, no idea. I got 0 predictions for this. I'm confident that the offense for the Detroit Lions will score on the Commanders. I'm confident about that. The question is can the Washington Commanders offense keep up with the Detroit Lions offense? And which defense can force that turnover? Which special teams can get a huge 35, 45-yard punt return? Which team can force that fumble and then actually get it back? You know, actually, you know, recover it. Not be like, oh man, if so-and-so only picked that up, that was 6 points right there. No. You got to get those 6 points. You got to scoop that ball up. Like the perfect example, Baker Mayfield fumbles. We've seen that kind of happen all the time where Baker's still able to get it back. And it's like, oh no, if only they got that. That's the game. The Commanders were able to get that ball back. They were able to scoop it up. That's the difference between winning and losing. So it's just like, you know, like, where is it going to be? How is it going to be? How's it going to, you know, what are the little mini nuances of that game? That's what I'm excited to see. And that's why it's just unpredictable. But what I am confident in is that the Commanders are confident that they'll be able to win, that they'll be able to put up points. Because in this game, they were fired up. They were energized. They were aggressive. They were assertive. They had an insane amount of belief, and you could see it. And now they got this victory. They got this excitement. And they're not going to have a hangover because they have an awesome culture, awesome leadership with Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Jayden Daniels. That is the trio. I talk about this with the Kansas City Chiefs. The trio being Mahomes, Andy, and Spags. That's what Jayden Daniels and the Commanders have right now. And then you add some of the veteran leadership of Terry McLaurin, of Zach Ertz. You know, that's where you rely on. You rely on some of these guys. Again, rely on Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz was used sporadically, but when he was there, it mattered. Eckler. Again, De'Ami Brown. I mean, like, this was a special game, special victory. Special. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels beating the Washington Commanders, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And what do you think about their game versus Detroit? Who you got in that game? As I said, we'll continue to talk about that game all week long. So pumped, so excited for it. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.